Mississippi on Monday evening, causing widespread damage. This comes on the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, tying with 2020's Hurricane Laura and the last island hurricane of 1856 as the strongest ever to hit the state. Ida is just the second major hurricane of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. It made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of 150 miles per hour. Almost all of southeast Louisiana is without power, and that all 8 major transmission lines that feed electricity into the greater New Orleans area have failed. Thousands of National Guard personnel and 900 search and rescue personnel have been deployed to the area. An estimated $15 billion in damage was caused by the hurricane in Louisiana. The storm was so powerful it also reversed the flow of the Mississippi River. And that's it for headlines. For KCHW Northern Lights Public Radio, I'm Brandon Hansen from TED. Have a great day.
Man, I'm so bummed out. I thought he was going to say the wind blew so hard it reversed the flow of time. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Or the rotation of the earth.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting because the way it was building it up. But that's why people love Brandon Hansen.
Brandon Hansen.
All right. I hope he's listening this morning. Good morning, Brandon. Thanks for the news. All right. That's crazy, though. The wind blew hard enough to make the Mississippi go backwards.
150 miles an hour. Can you believe that?
Wow. I only thought I had that much hot air.
Well, that's what I thought, too.
Ooh. All right. I'm kind of fumbling around here. We just jumped on the air. We weren't quite ready yet, but we figured, hey, whatever.
We can wing it.
So I'm trying to get you on the webcam because you're so beautiful and you're live from Deer Park. It's my sister, Val.
Applause all around.
All right. How you feeling? How you doing?
You know, I'm doing good this morning, I think.
All right.
I slept like the dead last night. It's the first time that I didn't get woke up by a hot flash or the animals or whatever. I was like, the alarm went off this morning at 6 and I was like, yeah, like waking from a coma or something.
I like how you paused before hot flash. Were you just trying to decide if that would be appropriate?
No, because I'm menopausal, I was trying to come up with the word.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't have a good night. The first time I woke up with I woke up, my nose was stuffed up. That's always hard to go back to sleep. And then the next time I kind of woke up, I had a cramp in the top of my foot.
Oh, the worst.
Oh, man. So I had to get up and walk around. And then I woke up and I had the worst itch on my back. So I had to get up and it was so bad. Usually if you got a little itch, in bed, you can ignore it, fall back to sleep. No, I literally had to get up and go find a door jamb because I couldn't find the back scratcher. And I'm just like, I'm working it out like a big bear. And I look over and I went, 6 o'clock? It's time to get up. Oh, man.
That's one of the images I think I'll always have of our dad, scratching his back on the door jamb.
I feel like Dad when I do it. So, Dad would be proud of me. I'm using the door jamb instead of something I had to buy. All right. Speaking of family, get to go see Mom for Labor Day. Yeah. You want me to take anything with?
She sent stuff home with me last time to give to you, and it's still in the closet. So.
Oh. Was there anything good?
Oh, it was some memorabilia from our brother who has passed.
All right.
Yeah. So it's waiting for you. At some point, I'll remember it.
Last time it was guns from Dad.
Nothing that exciting.
Oh.
I believe it's his service flag and a couple things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I've already got his dog tags, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, sometimes I put them on and take them places.
Going on an outing today.
Go ahead and take my brother. I should have got some ashes. All right. At least, you can have humor about it, right?
That's right.
That's right. All right, some news headlines this morning, and I didn't really get to check it out fully, but it's kind of awesome. So a man during it's like the coverage of Ida, NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster. Did you see this on live TV?
I did not.
He gets accosted by a man on live television, and like he stands his ground with him. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's a white pickup truck can be seen pulling up behind him as a man jumps out and sprints toward the reporter. Moments later, the man got in Brewster's face before the correspondent calmly ended the report. The man can be heard shouting at Brewster to report accurately. It's a hurricane, buddy. Maybe you should hit the road.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be like karmic if he, got swept up by the wind or something at that point, or his truck?
Like somebody telling the story of, the people that don't return their shopping carts and they got a brand new truck, and this was on Facebook, and the person doesn't put the cart away, just leaves it, and he gets in his brand new truck, and then for some reason, like a magnet, the shopping cart just takes off across the parking lot and slams into the fender of his new truck.
That would be awesome.
Oh, I should have put that away. Wish I would have put that away.
Oh.
But yeah, he didn't say anything dirty, luckily. But yeah, he just started screaming at him, and they cut away, and then they came back and said, okay, he's okay. He said before the confrontation, the family had been strolling on the beach with dogs, so Brewster initially believed it was pets, not the man from the pickup truck. So he was a little shocked. Oh, that's a dog. No, it's a man grabbing me. Yeah, he actually put, and I guess he hasn't pressed charges or anything, but he actually, you can see him putting a hand on his coat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I feel sorry for the reporters that are reporting on something and somebody comes up behind and drops the F-bomb or does something like that.
Oh, yeah, it's always scary.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought you got accosted like that just reporting the news?
I had it happen once. I so thought I was going to lose my job. I was sweating bullets. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was one of those that gets the station like a $17,000 fine. So, yeah. Housing limbo across America. Nothing to buy, nothing to rent. Big story. All right.
Going it's all so the way true in our area.
Yeah, going across the country. A landlord of 14 months informed that he would be raising this person's rent by $300 a month. That was an apartment in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Same kind of thing. I was talking to a gal at one of our Quickie Marts around town, and she was telling me how that her rent, her family lived in Spokane. No, it wasn't a Quickie Mart. It was a different business. Her family was paying rent. She said now it's a 3-bedroom apartment. So you can see $1,200 a month for this 3-bedroom apartment. She said, but next month it goes up to $1,500. And you're just like, wow.
It is happening everywhere. You keep hearing those stories, and there's some landlords, some shady ones that are, kind of trying to do things to keep people from, if they're locked into their rent, then they'll do something funky so that they can get them out anyway or raise their rent anyway. So
and they're taking advantage of it. Maybe rightly so. The other thing you got to look at was some of these landlords. They could have tenants in their buildings that haven't paid rent in months, and they weren't available to evict them. And I have a friend who was a landlord, and he literally had a tenant call him and laugh at his face because I don't have to pay rent, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, see that stuff. And what infuriates me right now is you can get a job anywhere. They're begging people to come to work. They're giving signing bonuses at McDonald's. I mean, there's no reason why you can't have a job right now. And so that's what infuriates me is that we still have these things. And yeah, there's plenty of jobs to go back to work, whether it's the extra money on your that stuff you get when you're unemployment.
Yeah, the unemployment.
Yeah, I told you menopausal brain this morning. In your unemployment, all of those things I think are keeping. I mean, we're dying for workers in the workforce right now.
Especially the restaurant industry, especially hard hit by that.
Exactly. I mean, how many restaurants in Spokane have limited hours because they can't get somebody to work? So, that's a part to me that's frustrating. Yes, we needed it in the height of the pandemic when everything was closed, but at this point, there's plenty of jobs if you want to work.
And you might have a certain percentage that are taking advantage of situations, and other percentages that are actually scared to go work with the public, and you really can't blame them for that either.
That's true.
I mean, there's so many different takes on this, as and it feels like, I mean, sometimes like the pandemic is over because so many people want to ignore it. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's for some towns or places like Stevens County. We've been experiencing the highest numbers since it started. But there's
so many places like that.
But we've got the least amount of precautions.
How does that work out?
I don't even want to analyze it anymore. It makes my brain hurt because it's
well, you see the numbers. The states with the lowest amount of vaccinations have the highest amounts of COVID right now. Maybe there is a correlation.
It must be. I don't think but that's the liberal media, and they all lie.
Well, there is that, isn't there?
I told somebody one day, I was like, they were trying to tell me that here was proof of a conspiracy theory, and I said, okay, you just sent me, and I said, you just sent me that is ran by one man who I've never heard of before, who has a video of a guy who says he's a doctor, okay, and has all this stuff about how the vaccines don't work, and it's a joke. And I said, so basically, but you want me to believe this news story? And I said, it's not a credible news source. And then they hit me back with, well, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, that's all the liberal media, and it's all lies anyways. Well, then what do you believe? Because I'm not believing Joe Schmo, because you know what? Right now, I could go build a website, and I could shoot a video of Jungle Jim saying he's a doctor. And I could post
Can I be the nurse? Can I be the nurse?
Yes, you can be the nurse. That's exactly it. And I can post that on there, and it looks legit. And this guy has like a newsy-looking website. But he's just some jerk you've never heard of before. And I don't care who it is. It's one person owning this website. It's not a company. It's not a conglomeration. It's not a group. It's not a nonprofit group. It's nothing. It's just Joe. And I'm sorry, I can't, I don't know Joe. I don't trust him. And I've never heard of it and his news website. So, but they were really mad at me that, well, you just won't believe nothing. And I was like, you're okay, I won't. Yeah. As long as it's all fluffy.
And I'm proud of it.
That's right. Your story is full of holes like cheese.
Like Swiss cheese. We've had, I have lots of family members that are against the vaccine. And one of the arguments is we don't know what's in it. And my response is, do you recognize the name of all the ingredients in that monster you're drinking?
So, there's plastic in your margarine, right?
Yeah. I just feel like the people that are refusing to get the vaccine, if you shoot down one thing, like it's not FDA approved on Pfizer, well, now it is. And then, it's another excuse that they find. So I always, I was telling Brad, I'm like, you know what? Excuses are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one. And so.
I would have a tough choice if I was going to go back in time. Now, I can't prove it. I was for getting vaccinated. All the volunteers here were all older, and everybody else was doing it, and I figured it's a safe thing to do. It was the only way I could see, maybe opening up the radio station again and being able to do concerts and stuff like that, because right now I do so much of the work. I'm trying to change that, but I've had like this horrible arthritis flare-up. I mean, beyond anything I've ever experienced before. Happened about 6 weeks after the shot. Now, I got the Johnson & Johnson because it was a traditional vaccine. That was my personal choice. I said, I want to go with the traditional vaccine and, see how that goes compared to the two new ones. But is it caused by the shot? How do you prove that? And how do you prove it's not? But I've never had a flare-up like this. But if I'd go back in time, I'd be really torn up of whether to get it or not, because for me and with my health problems, it was like, well, if you catch this, you got probably a higher chance of dying than anybody, than most people. So that's a tough call to make. But I kind of feel like now I sacrificed my hands.
Well, and I think, I've got a friend who has a pretty severe autoimmune disease, and she got Pfizer and has not had any correlation of her symptoms changing or anything like that. So I think, part of it might be the individual, part of it might be, like you said, the Johnson and Johnson maybe is different. And I think that what has scared the people about Pfizer and Moderna is that mRNA technology, thinking it's brand new. And it isn't. It's been around since the 80s. They used it in the Ebola vaccine. So, and people have this idea that it changes your DNA. It does
Well,
not.
here's the problem. Somebody did what you just did, and they called it RMNA technology or mRNA technology. You put the word technology with it, and that's where that stupid chip idea came from.
Well, here's the deal, though. If you were exposed to radiation, and they're like, hey, we have this brand new technology that will keep you from dying
Hooking
from
me up.
radiation exposure, would you go, oh, no, it's new, I'm not going to take it?
No.
Or if there was a new, if you had cancer, and there was a new treatment for cancer, they're like, this is brand new, just came out, we're not sure if it's going to have side effects, whatever. And it's like, okay, die of cancer or take a chance on the technology. Most people are going to choose the new technology. So I think so much of it, again, the excuses we're getting are more about excuses than reality.
And I don't.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know either. You know what the truth. I've been in kind of like a remission for 5 years, so it just could have been time.
It could have been, and I think that's where we need. That research is going to come in. I guess again it comes down to personal choice. But my thing is, if you choose not to get the vaccine, that is your choice. But please wear a mask then. Make that compromise where, yeah, this is my choice. I'm worried about it, whatever. But then don't balk about wearing a mask, because we're seeing this. What are we at, wave 10 at this point?
And it's not
obvious.
ending.
Yeah. So it's obvious that there are things like masks that help, the vaccine if you're willing to take it. But let's do something. I mean, we're 9 months into the vaccine. We're not seeing... we're not seeing those side effects people are worried about. We are, 18 months into the virus, and almost 700,000 people dead in our country from it. So,
And we still have people acting like it's not happening.
Exactly, acting like it's not happening. And you know what? For me, a mask is a minor thing. I'm vaccinated, and I'll wear a mask into Costco or any place that's requiring it. I just feel like it's my civic duty to protect other people.
It's somebody on Facebook here in town belittling people for having the vaccine and still wearing a mask, and I'm just like, oh, shut up.
Right.
So now it's come out and it's breakthrough. So all the people that went and got vaccinated was kind of for naught. It really was. I mean, okay, they're protected in the fact that if they get it, it's going to be light and they're probably not going to die. But it's really sad that all the people that went and did that, it is kind of in a way for naught now, because we're going to need boosters and all this kind of stuff.
I'm going to disagree strongly with you on that, because we look at childhood vaccines, whether you're getting the MMR, whatever it is. For kids, you get multiple boosters. And so we're used to the fact that you need a booster for these things. We're used to the fact that the flu vaccine is a yearly thing. So why should we be surprised at this point that we're going to need a booster on COVID, especially because we have these new variants? I mean, there's 4 different flu vaccines because they're not sure which version we're going to have that particular year. And so that's what I feel about. I am not surprised at all we're going to need a booster. For one, we've got these variants because people aren't wearing masks or aren't getting vaccinated. And it's only a matter of time before we have a variant that is not covered very well by the vaccine we're at. So I'm not surprised. I do not have a problem with having to get a booster. And so I fully expected it. I fully expect it to be a yearly shot, just like the flu is. And I'm okay with that.
I guess I was just wishful thinking that that when it came out, most people would do it and it'd be over with, and it would it'd be a done deal. So
yeah,
and it's sad that we still have people that are polarized over it. There are going to be people out there, like you said, okay, you don't want to get the shot, great, but will you wear a mask?
Right.
They're going to say no.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, people will say it's their constitutional right, their God-given right. But it's kind of, I feel like it's my constitutional right and God-given right for you not to get me sick.
Well,
So-
that's I don't think freedom is the freedom to injure someone else. You can claim
Exactly.
your freedom and have your freedom, but your freedom is not to injure someone else. Your freedom is to go hide from everybody. Your freedom is to go away. Is
Well,
to make
here's
that
my deal
choice.
too with cigarette smoke, right? There's not a place in Washington where you can smoke indoors at a public place.
besides
a restaurant
besides
or
some
what-
casinos.
Right. Well, they're a sovereign nation. So, but what I'm saying is, you are not allowed to smoke in buildings because of the effect of secondhand smoke on other people. And,
Nobody freaked out about that.
Right. And so, for the most part, people, I mean, I'm sure there's people that wish they could smoke in the restaurant, but it's for the safety of others that law has been
But that's
instated.
that's acceptable. Nobody rioted over that. Nobody picketed over that.
Exactly. So I think that's kind of my point, is it's become so political and so polarized. People that might have, 5 years ago been, okay, yes, let's get vaccinated. It's become such a political issue of you can't make me, that this is where we're at.
All right. If you are planning a trip to the UK, you might
They
as
won't let us come in anymore.
No, I'm not just going to say if you've been trying to any of the European Union countries and your bags are packed, unpack them. They just took us off the safe list. Nobody from America is welcome.
Yeah, we are not welcome.
Oh, again? All right.
Oh.
All right. But you know what? There's been nobody overseas that's been on my safe list. So,
Well, you look at, there was a report on New Zealand who hasn't had a single case of COVID in months and months. And now they have COVID again, with cases in their country. So, yeah, even the ones that you think are safe, at some point, somebody's going to travel into your country that has been exposed. So,
it's never going to end. All right, let's
how I
move.
feel.
Let's move on a little bit to today's bits and breaks.
Oh gosh, step off my soapbox. All right, let me get down. Give me a
let's
second.
lighten it up before everybody tunes out. It's like, oh, we've heard this before.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
Yeah, our drum's starting to wear out. Don't worry about it. Let's see. I like this one for you down there. It says, how do you make new friends as an adult? Well, when Val was a kid, Mom put a stake around her neck so the dog would play with her.
That's right. Well, I'm sure in this day and age, how do you make new friends as an adult? Don't talk politics or religion
Oh, that'll end it real fast.
or vaccinations right now, I suppose. So, how do you make friends and influence people? Just don't talk about those things right now.
I gotta, and it's all over the place, and it involves everybody, because I got a Tinder thing from a gal, got a like, and I click on it or whatever, and I'm like, oh, she's cute, and I'm going through it, and the last line, it said, no Trump haters, and oh, swipe left.
Well, that would be pretty hard. Can you imagine being Kellyanne Conway and her husband when you have such vastly different views
Oh,
on
man.
the president or on politics? How do you survive a marriage?
Wow, it'd be fun at the dinner table, huh?
It's bad enough during the holiday meals. That's kind of one of my things. We will not talk politics or religion. So,
Okay, I think it might work, though, if you came up with the, if you sat down for dinner, and what it is, so she's a Republican, he's a Democrat, and you sat down for dinner, and then you have to tell each other who in your party did the stupidest thing today. Just try to one-up
There
each
you
other.
go.
Yeah, I think that might work out.
that might work out.
All right, well, how do you make some ideas that you have for make new friends as an adult that doesn't involve a T-bone?
I think when we were younger and had young kids, for Brad and I, it was kind of easy to make friends because it was your children's friends' parents. So it was kind of easy back then, or
Okay,
easier.
like kind of a built-in thing.
Yes, exactly. You had something in common. You were at the same games. You went to the same, plays at the school, whatever it was. But you had so much in common at that point. Now as you get older, it's way harder.
So you have a big circle of friends. Are you adding new friends to that? How do you do that?
We add new friends because my husband will talk to anyone.
So he goes out and like fishes for them.
Well, I don't know if you call fishing, but we've met some really close friends because one year they parked beside us at the campground. And so, I mean, these are now great friends. So, it was, if he hadn't decided that he should help them park their motorhome or whatever the case was, these people wouldn't be in our lives. So, yeah, I think we make new friends because my husband is very, very social.
That's funny. Hey, honey, it's the weird guy from the campground on the phone again. What should I say? He wants to come over.
So I got to tell you a funny story along that line. So we'd met this couple at the campground and had a blast with them. I mean, immediately got in contact because you could just feel that connection. And so, I don't know, probably within a month of meeting them, they said, come on out. We're going to a concert at the casino. And you can stay with us overnight so you don't have to drive home after the concert. So Brad calls his mom and says, hey, can you check on the cats and the dog because we're going to be gone. And his mom is so upset that we're going to stay with these people that we've just met.
Oh.
And it was hilarious. I'm like, really? We're in our 50s and his mom is freaking out because we're staying with people we just met.
Maybe she's thinking you're all swingers.
No, I think she thought we were going to be murdered in our sleep or something. I don't know.
They could steal your wallets when you're not looking.
Yeah.
All right. Other suggestions from social media. If you run, join a local running group.
That makes sense.
I don't like that one because how am I going to like talk and converse with people while I'm running and using a puffer?
Hands on your knees, gasping for breath.
Hey, slow down. That's really what it sounds like when I'm chasing girls.
Unless they trip and fall, you're out of luck.
Yeah. That happened one day. I was in the sports car, and there was a girl checking me out, and she tripped on the sidewalk. It was like best day ever. I don't know if she tripped because of me or the car, but it was best day ever.
She fell for you.
Yes, literally on the sidewalk. All right. If you like poetry, join a local poetry writing or reading group.
Oh. Well, you know, they have the same hobbies as you when you do things like that, right?
Yeah. There was a pretty, and I don't know if they're still doing it, but writers through the Chewell Arts Guild, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they did a bunch of short stories one time. I got to record them and put them on the air. That was really fun.
Nice.
So, let's see. There's a couple more there. Are you following along?
I am not. I'm
Okay.
just listening to you.
All right. I'll keep talking then. Taking cooking classes. Even if you're already pretty good, you can up your game while you meet new people. All right. And
so I got a funny on that one. It was on another radio station that I happened to be listening to, and somebody had called in because their girlfriend got extremely upset because he signed them both up for cooking classes. And she was like, so what are you saying? I'm not a good cook. And kind of flipped out on him. And he didn't quite understand. He just thought it'd be something fun and romantic. So, you know, you got to be careful there, especially if you're signing up your girlfriend or your wife for cooking classes.
Exactly. Scary stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he got in trouble. You know, and that's right there is a prime example of why it sucks to be a guy. Because we don't even
if you don't.
Yeah, we don't even know what we're doing that's going to get us in trouble next. I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
I got to stop the show for a while. I've so been there and done that. Not the cooking classes. Yeah. All right. If you ride a motorcycle, go to shop-sponsored bike runs and rides. Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
If you help, if you're like helping people, volunteer to blood donation center. Nothing brings people together like blood. And they have, well, not only do you get the other volunteers of the blood center, you get the donors.
There you go.
You know.
So, but to tell people, what do you have in common? Blood. They're going to think you're related
Yeah.
or something.
No, we both like it. I mean, to give it. All right, and let's see. Another way you could meet people is some self-improvement courses, maybe taking a class, something like that, which goes into our next one. It says, I'm getting into the self-improvement business. Now you can sign up for these free email courses on Scott's Facebook page.
Oh.
All right? This will help you meet people too, right? How to relax and let your lawn grow.
You know, you should be keeping it long this time of year anyway because it's so dry out.
Get my book and 10 cassette series on how I made $100 in real estate.
You'll get rich on that one.
Scott's always looking for $1, even when he's dead. Profit from your own funeral, too.
How do you profit from your own funeral?
On this one I learned at a young age, tricking your own mommy for money.
So did you experience this as a teenager, that when mom had just a little bit too much to drink, she was handing you money?
Oh, it was the best time to ask mom for anything.
Exactly, because she didn't have too much to drink very often, so you had to plan it really carefully. And so, yeah, that was the best time. She'd be giving you money all the time.
And me and Val were devious teenagers because we would play that game of playing mom against dad, or it was actually dad against mom. We'd say, can we have the car to go out and go into, and it was a horrible car, a 1970 Buick LeSabre four-door. Say, can we have the car to go into the Pattersons in Spokane and go roller skating? And maybe we'd been bad that day, and Mom would go, no. So then we'd go ask Dad.
Exactly.
And Dad was always like, go. And then sometimes we'd tell him, oh, by the way, Mom said no. And sometimes we just went.
I usually just ask Dad first because I know he'd say yes.
The easiest way to go.
Don't bother asking Mom.
She'll have something for us to do.
Yes.
All right.
Her answer will always be no if it involves leaving Chwila.
Yeah, she's just worried about us getting car wrecks, and well, that's because you started off
Having fun. She's worried about us having fun.
Yes, and if you wouldn't have started off at 16 having fun, we wouldn't have been in that situation. Someday I'll tell the story about your first car.
But I wrecked it right out of Chwila.
I wasn't going to say that, but
going to Spokane.
Oh yeah, first trip. She got the car. First day she's driving it down Cotwood. She goes off an S curve.
Yeah, and not just any S curve. It's one with a barbed wire fence. It does a lot of damage to a car.
She peeled her new Camaro like a banana.
Yes. We all walked away though.
But yeah, there wasn't any dents on it, which was awesome. It was a 74 Camaro, so it had that steel bumper still before they went to fiberglass, and she just popped those fence posts right out. And why did she get into trouble? Because she was a 16-year-old driver, and she put all of her friends in the car to take them for a ride in her new Camaro.
I only had 2 people in the car with me.
But that is why they don't allow 16-year-old kids to drive with passengers anymore.
I'm sure.
It was because
all
of you.
because of Val
Yes.
wrecking your Camaro.
All right. More things you can do to help meet people and self-improve yourself by signing up with Scott for these cool classes. Inexpensive lawn care through cement.
You can also go with those big river rocks because that works really well too.
Oh, yeah. The joys of hypochondria. And then skate yourself to regularity. I hope you can keep up with the regularity.
I just make sure you're skating where there's a restroom.
We have to skate faster. That next honey bucket is 15 miles away.
Exactly.
Wow. All right, you caught up with me now?
I am.
How about, man, things not to be cheap about? Educate me.
All right. The first is alcohol.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes you can go with a cheaper alcohol if you're having a mixer in it. I mean, why use a Pendleton for Pendleton and Coke doesn't make any sense. But you can go R&R and Coke, and it doesn't seem so bad.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I'll kind of disagree with the alcohol one.
What's Pendleton?
But, yeah, that's just me. I'm cheap. I'm a cheap date.
Is Pendleton cheap or is that expensive?
It's an expensive
Okay,
whiskey.
all right. Sounds cheap.
So, yeah.
Sounds cheap. Why would you want whiskey from Pendleton, Oregon? Yuck.
Hey, have you ever seen how much a Pendleton blanket costs?
Okay.
They're just expensive if you put the name Pendleton in.
Is that a type of a horse, too?
I don't think
Okay.
Pendleton.
All right.
I don't.
Seems like it would
Anyway, toilet paper. Now, I will agree on that one. I hate the toilet paper that's like one ply and feels like sandpaper.
You know, I never, and I don't know if it's still that way, but back in the day, if you went to the Coeur d'Alene Inn, you know, Hagedon's, big place there on the water, the toilet paper, even on the ground floor, like velvet.
I always appreciate that when I go to somebody's house and their toilet paper is really nice.
I'm going to stay here. I mean,
I wonder if I can rent a room.
What are those bulges in the back of Scott's pants? Do you think he stole toilet paper?
Again.
Again.
And I would say for men, if you're on the dating scene and you're having a chick over, even if you use a cheap toilet paper on a day-to-day basis,
swap it out.
Put some really nice paper on the roll when you're having a girl over. Dating advice from Val.
I want to find like a roll that's like the shape of a roll of toilet paper, but have it like be a roll of sandpaper, and actually just have it in my bathroom as a joke. So when you sit down and use my toilet and you look over and you're like, what?
They used to have that joke stuff that was like rolled up hay or something like that, straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a roll of the Barack Obama and one of Trump.
You're an equal opportunity.
They actually have you can go get toilet paper from any president online.
That's true.
Whoever you don't like, just go get them. But I haven't liked a president since Reagan, so I've got a lot.
A different one for every week.
Yeah, every 4 years I'm swapping it out. I always have a few leftovers. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll stop now.
All right.
Okay.
Razors. Don't buy a cheap razor.
Even the electric ones. Even electric razor, buying a cheap one. That's what I did last time. I'm paying for it right now.
Oh.
It's been 30 minutes. I got stubble.
Doesn't take it out very good, huh? Are you sure? Because I don't know. I think the older Brad gets, the faster his whiskers grow. So
I was wondering because they've done in the past month, it's doubled. It seems like it's a lot harder to shave every morning. Or it could just be me and COVID.
It could be. Canned ravioli, man. Don't be cheap about that stuff.
Do you have a choice? Is there gourmet canned ravioli?
I don't know. To me, it all tastes like the metal can.
Yes. You know how to trade that up though. I'm gonna blow your mind, right? So especially now, not you because you cook everything from scratch. Hint,
hint.
You cook everything from scratch. But for those that eat out of a can, you want to just jack up your life another level. Open that can of canned ravioli and dump a ton of mozzarella cheese on top of it.
Oh
yeah.
That cover the taste of the metal can?
Yeah,
too?
and then put it in the microwave and it just makes it pop.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
I'll leave the next one up to you.
Can I say this online?
Well, you can say it online. I don't know about over the radio. Yeah, you can say it there too.
Okay. Men, don't be cheap about buying condoms.
That means buy them.
Well, 18 years of raising a kid, that's pretty expensive. So don't be cheap about the condoms.
That's right. The next one, it's true. I mean,
don't buy a cheap mattress.
And I did that for, it's okay when you're younger, I guess, to buy a cheap mattress and stuff. But as you get older, you spend a third of your life in that bed, or like me, a fifth. So get more comfortable.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I totally agree with this one. Don't buy cheap paper plates. Those plain white ones that you need 4 of them just to keep it from dumping your food on the ground?
Yeah, but they soak up stuff so well.
Oh, that's true. You're eating a greasy burger, just put it on one of those cheap paper plates.
You know what? I bet this is funny. I have, because I don't use a coffee pot, but I have been packing around, moving from place to place. At some point, one of my wives bought, I don't know, 20,000 coffee filters. And I've been moving around with these coffee filters, and they're always in the way. I'm like, I'm never going to use all these. Why do I have all these coffee filters? So I just opened it, and I use them like paper towels. They work awesome.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to use them as toilet paper.
Well, not that I haven't. I am a single guy, and I run out of things and don't go to the store sometimes. So I'm not saying that hasn't happened. Now, that's a little like sandpaper.
Yes.
But
yes.
using them like a paper towel, even though they're oddly shaped, they work really well. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I never thought of that. I mean, I use them for all sorts of things when I'm, making wine or whatever. Not wine, I guess, but other things where you need a filter to filter out particles. So yeah, they do have multi-purposes.
I am down to 19,000 now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Don't cheap out on umbrellas.
Oh, why?
Do men use umbrellas anymore?
No, only during acid rain.
There you go. Well, maybe if you're going on a date with a girl, make sure you have a really nice umbrella when you need to hold it over her head for her.
Aw. I think because you find them sometimes you're at the, maybe grocery outlet or something like that, and they got them on a rack for $4, and you're like, I should probably have one of those under the... I think I do on most of my cars have an umbrella under the seat. However, I rarely use them because I love the rain.
There you go, especially this year.
Yeah.
Bring on the rain. And your hair can't get any curlier with a little humidity. So
yes, it can. It does.
Last one on our list today is batteries.
Oh.
Don't cheap out on batteries.
I won't even look at those dollar store batteries. I'm like, why do you guys have these hanging there? Because they're not alkaline in the first place. They're just regular old batteries. They don't last for anything. I just don't waste my time. It's got to be, an Energizer or a Duracell.
And, Kirkland batteries are great. I'm sure they're made by one of those companies. So
Do their alkaline batteries seem to last?
Yes.
I don't even try because that's the last thing you want is your wireless mic going out in the middle of the show. So I buy the Duracells.
Good deal.
But if you think Kirkland's are pretty good, I could try that.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm sure they're manufactured by one of those other companies. So, and you know what? The nice thing about Costco, they don't last. You just take them back and say, I don't like your battery.
Okay. Well, that's kind of nice. One thing we didn't do this morning, I should probably drop in real quick, is our weather. Since we're done with that a little bit. Well, did we get everything off the list there? Yep,
we did. Men things men shouldn't cheap out about.
So as strange as our summer was, our August has been even stranger.
Yes, to have this cool of August is unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. Now we are into September, and we're usually like, I don't know. I've noticed this in all my travelings. When you cross the state line, there's an obvious difference. I mean, just in topography and stuff, like they knew what they were doing when they made state lines. I mean, the border between Montana and North Dakota. Okay, it's just a bunch of nothing, so they couldn't change it there. But I've been through a lot of states where it's a obvious difference when you cross that line. It's the same way for September for us usually. I mean, Here comes September, and it's just like Mother Nature goes, okay, no more warm days, bye-bye. But this year, we're going back up to 116. No, I'm joking.
I was going to say, no, we're not.
No, but we are going to have a kind of a normal day today, I guess, for end of summer. 71, mostly sunny. 43 for an overnight low. Let's see, just tonight there is a 10% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow, mostly sunny day and 72. Thursday, 77. Friday, continuing the mostly sunny style with 81. Saturday, mostly cloudy. No rain in the forecast. High of 82. And right now, Sunday, looking like 81 and 50 for the high and low under partly cloudy skies.
Now, Monday is going to be Labor Day, so I would just hazard a guess that the temperatures are going to drop from the 80s to the 60s.
No, 81 was sunshine.
Oh, wow.
This is Monday and Tuesday, so it looks like nice weather throughout the period for next weekend if you got big plans.
Nice.
You got any
that's kind of last hurrah for a lot of people, right?
Yeah. You got any big plans?
Weekend.
You going to go out and camp with the crowds?
We are going going over to a friend's. He has some property, and that's about the only place we've been camping this summer, just because everything else is either closed or dry. So we'll just take the motorhome over there and visit with them for a couple days and hang out. And so, yeah.
All right. So they got like private camping property.
Yeah, and they have some private property, about 30 acres.
That's the thing right now, because and it's another thing that's driving, I guess, the real estate market is raw land purchases as well as homes, and it's because of that kind of thing. This, everybody was camping during the pandemic. I know when I went out and did my camp out in April, I was surprised. Now, some of the DNR campgrounds and stuff, they were empty, but the state campgrounds and the federal campgrounds that I passed, packed full in April. I'd never seen that before. And a lot of people said, you can't get out, or you get out, you can't find a space, you got to reserve ahead of time. So a lot of people are trying to find, a little piece of raw land where they can have a private family camp out. So.
Right. Yep. And so, we even have power. They put in power for us for the motorhome. So
that's not camping.
I don't know what they were thinking, because now we keep coming back.
So they put you in your own power pole and a sewer.
Well, not the sewer, but the power pole.
Well, tell them to get busy.
Yeah, exactly. They would too if we asked, but
well,
so
chances
we'll just go hang out with them, and just
chances
have some good laughs.
Chances are somewhere on their property they've got a sewer clean out. Just go park up to that.
Well, they do.
Okay.
And so
and you dump there, don't you?
Yes.
You're so taking advantage of these people.
One of my things about camping, and I don't know why I hate it so much, but I hate having, when you're done with your weekend, having to go stand in line or park in line to dump your tanks.
Ew.
And I don't know why. I just hate it. It's not the dumping in itself. It's having to wait in line behind people that have never dumped their rig before. And so a project that should take 10 minutes takes a half hour, and you're back there and you're just getting madder and madder. And
people!
Exactly.
It's the same when you're boating. There's that guy that's never seen a boat before, but he's got one.
Yes.
It's exactly the same.
Waiting at the launch, and you're trying not to, get angry.
Just a little. All right. So let's do trivia.
Okay.
And I will deliver you yesterday's, and you can deliver me today's. Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair.
All right, so it's the brother and sister battle today for trivia, and I've got this for you, Val.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
Ah!
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
That's my sister, thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
I'm just being cocky because I'm probably going to lose.
And this is the trash talking before we start.
Exactly. I'm trying to set you up, make you nervous so you mess up.
You don't have to make me nervous to mess up.
All right. Things I'm going to do this first. Things that are better than having a girlfriend for Scott.
Okay.
Okay. Cleaning my ears and pulling some gunk out.
It is satisfying, though.
It is. Going to the bathroom on a full bladder. Watching my kids succeed.
Oh, that's a good one.
A long foot massage that I give myself.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Who's giving you the foot massage?
A bagel smothered in cream cheese.
Oh, who doesn't love that?
Fresh sheets. I experience that once every 6 months.
I was going to say, yeah, dude, man, as a man, how often do you change your own sheets?
About every 3 months.
Okay.
I'm joking. But probably once a month if that's not gross. All right.
But you only sleep in your bed part of the time. The rest of the time you're in your chair. So yours probably
passed out in the chair.
Lasts a whole month. You're fine.
All right. Things that are better than having a girlfriend: a good burp, a fart, or a cry. Not necessarily in that order. think I'll cry today.
Do you have to go stub your toe on purpose to make that happen?
Yes. Things that are better than a girlfriend, my big terry cloth robe.
Do you have a nice terry cloth robe?
I do.
Oh, nice. You probably shouldn't cheap out on those either.
You probably shouldn't cheap out on those either.
Yeah.
All right. Swimming in the nude.
Warn everybody first.
It's really sad I don't have any place to do that.
You know what we always say is, we don't skinny dip anymore. We chunky dump.
All right. That next one would be a lie. It was something about running, finishing an organized run or a 10K marathon. Something I promise I will never do.
If I'm running, you better run too, because something's chasing me.
All right. Let's get to that real stuff called the trivia. You want to go first, Val?
Sure.
All right. Hit me.
There are more than 2,700 of these in the world. 2,700.
2,700 of these in the world. Person, place, or thing?
I'll say it. That's a hard one. I'll say a thing.
It's a thing, and there's 2,700 of them in the world.
Yes.
Is it a business?
No.
Landmarks, like monumental landmarks.
No, good guess, but no.
I give up.
Languages. 2,700 different languages in the world.
Oh.
Doesn't that seem like a lot, though?
It does. 2,700. All right. I only know Auf Wiedersehen. All right.
Just one word.
Just one word. No, I can say I'm hungry and I need a beer in German. To say you need a beer in German is "Ich bin sehr durstig," which is just simply "I'm thirsty," and every German will know you need a beer. That's all you need to say. You get a beer. Ich bin sehr durstig.
I know German words too. There's sauerkraut, Dummkopf.
That's what Dad called me.
Dummer Satten. Remember that one?
No.
That was a dumb devil. I don't know why he got called a Dummer Satten.
I like a Schweinhund, which was pig dog. All right. Is it my turn to hit you? All right.
It is.
Punch. President William Howard Taft was the first president to ever do what at a sporting event?
William Howard Taft. If I was good about history, I'd know what year he was president. Mm-hmm. But I don't. So first, to throw out the first ball, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That was pretty easy, huh?
That was an easy one.
All right, now I want an easy one. Come on.
Okay. There are at least one of these in nearly every community in the U.S., but the very first was opened in Charleston, South Carolina in 1698.
Honey Bucket. All right, one in every city in the U.S.?
Nearly every community in the U.S., but the very first one here, I'm going to say the very first one in our country probably was Charleston, South Carolina in 1698. These are something that have been in other nations back to the Roman Empire, I believe.
Bars.
Well, that is an excellent guess and probably true as well, but not what I was looking for.
Hospitals?
Also very good. But probably every community doesn't have one of those. This would be something that
Hotel.
I'll give you a really good hint. This is
Hotel.
probably something that is kind of dying out as we enter the digital era.
Huh. Radio station?
Hopefully not.
I don't know. I'm gonna feel stupid, aren't I?
Public libraries.
Oh. You should have said, Scott, you rarely go there. or Scott, it's something you rarely do.
Well, and like I said, we are entering the digital era. Do people... That's horrible. I'm sure there's community library in Tooele, but I would think it's dying out.
And it's not that I don't go to the library. It's that I don't read.
There's that too. But maybe people just go to the public library now for the free Wi-Fi.
No, because I still see a ton of people in there doing research, people that don't have access to the internet, maybe can't afford a computer. Maybe you just want to get out of the house to somewhere quiet to work on a computer. And people still love books. So.
They do. And I think for kids especially, they need something that they're not on a tablet or electronic device. So I think actual books are great for kids.
Coming up in national news, I'll just give it a tease now when we go to break here. China has made gaming illegal unless you do it between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m.
1 hour?
1 hour a day, and it's illegal for kids under 18 to game more than 1 hour a day. They passed a law. It's in the
How do you enforce that?
It's China.
Just drag them out of their apartment by their hair?
Actually, in China, the kids tell on themselves. I don't know. All right. Average person says they go through 16 of these a year.
Goodness, 16 a year.
This is coming full circle with our conversation.
Rolls of toilet paper.
No. A shorter circle, much smaller circle.
Much smaller circle.
Average person goes through 16 of these a year?
I'm trying to remember what we've talked about, but there's been so much, I'm not sure.
We were just talking about it. I mean, just seconds ago.
Something to do with the library?
Yes.
They read 16 books a year?
Yes. You're so doubtful.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh, yay!
It's because I haven't read 16 books in a year since I was a child, probably.
But you still got it right, so...
I got my 2 hands up. I surrender. Come and lock me up. Here forever.
We don't have to lock you up. All right. I guess you're going to hit me again.
I have a fact or fiction for you.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. First off, 65% of us say when called for jury duty, we'll try to get out of it. Fact or fiction? 65%.
I'm going to say that's fiction. I'm going to say it's less.
You're completely right. It is fiction because the number is actually around 25%.
Yeah. See, most of us are patriots. We want to do the right thing.
I'm so not a patriot.
Support our society. Get the criminal.
All right. Surveys say that women prefer smooth peanut butter. What? This doesn't make sense. This is not reading right.
All right. Well, skip that one then, I guess.
We'll skip that one because that's not reading right. Anyway, let's try
I'm
this
going to
one.
say, with my women, I like smooth peanut butter.
I like it crunchy.
You like it crunchy? Ew. You like it chunky.
I do.
Chunky.
I think it makes me feel better about eating peanut butter if there's actually nuts in it.
Okay.
The average adult has nearly 100 moles.
I'm going to say that's way too high.
That is fiction. The average has between 10 and 40 moles.
I'd call you, hey, moly. Hey, moly man.
Can you imagine having 100 moles?
Yeah. Oh, hey, could you take off your shirt so the rest of us can play Connect the Dots?
I'm getting new moles as I get older.
That's cancer.
Well, no, it's nothing that even resembles cancer, but moles I never noticed I had before. And they're in twos. I don't know what it is. When they pop up, there's 2 of them. I don't know.
It's Brad and a Sharpie.
Well, wouldn't put him past that. But,
where are they usually at, Val?
on my leg.
See? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And finally, the last one I'm going to give you today.
Maybe.
I'm so confused about this today. I won't say the last. Here's one for you. The average person will open the fridge about 22 times a day. Fact or fiction?
That is a fact.
You're so right. You're so right on that one. Give yourself a round of applause.
Oh, yes. Can I pat myself on the back? No,
yes.
I'm too stiff for that.
Right. Let's
now, do I have
go
anything
for
else?
another one because I did find more.
Oh.
Americans eat enough butter each year to cover the floor of the Grand Canyon.
I'm going to say yes, because I love butter.
Sorry, that's fiction.
Oh, I was just being hopeful.
I love my butter too. So.
Yeah, I'd be like rowing through it in the bottom of the ground. Going, ooh, look at all the butter. Okay.
A human hair is 1,000,000 times thicker than a single atom.
Huh. I'll go with that.
1,000,000 times. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'll go with that.
A giraffe can run 47 miles per hour.
A what?
Giraffe.
A giraffe can run. No, that's way too fast.
You're correct. That's
He would trip over his
miles
legs.
an hour for a giraffe.
See?
And
well, I'm
finally-
doing good.
You're doing great today. Finally, Italians were eating spaghetti 20 years before tomato sauce was invented. Fact or fiction?
Yes.
You're so smart today. So smart.
First time for everything.
That's right.
And I
wasn't
knew that
really a
because
fact.
I had heard that like ketchup was only like invented in like 18 or 19 something, like right around the turn of the century to when they invented ketchup. So I was thinking maybe other tomato pasta sauce kind of things took longer to be invented too, and I was right.
You were right. So what did you put on spaghetti? What did they put on it before tomato sauce came along?
Butter.
Butter.
My favorite way to eat spaghetti is with nothing on it but Finlandia butter.
Oh.
Yeah, just those noodles just drenched in some good grass-fed butter.
And that's me and scrambled eggs. I don't want any salt and pepper in my scrambled eggs. I want scrambled eggs smothered in butter.
Yeah, it's my
because everything's better with butter.
Well, no, that's my favorite way to eat them too. So how did that happen? Must be. Hey, eating eggs is genetic.
Just like cashews, we discovered last week that we both love cashews.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of strange because those are two things we didn't eat a lot of as kids. There was never cashews in our house.
No.
And I don't remember eating eggs a lot for breakfast or anything. We usually had a box. Mom and Dad both worked, so we usually got a box of cereal and a hand wave.
Pop-Tarts. Cinnamon
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
Oh. All right, so you finished up there. I've got a what's in common for you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a set of 3 things. You tell me what's in common. If you do it right, you will win. Okay?
All right. Round of applause for Val.
Yay. And I did forget one trivia question I should go back to.
Okay.
All right. But we'll do that after this. So here is your 3. Red magic shag.
Carpet.
Uh-huh. Elephant, walrus, wild boar.
Elephant, walrus, wild boar. Something besides the fact that they're all mammals?
No.
They have tusks.
Tusks. Excellent. King, queen, twin. Super easy.
Mattresses.
Yeah. And brown, wild, and long grain. I gave you easy ones.
Rice.
And,
Those were easy this week. Wow.
Yeah. And then that trivia question I missed. On average, American consumers use more than 500 of these per person each year. What are they? American consumers use more than 500 of these each year.
Are we back to the toilet stuff? Toilet paper?
Nope, nothing in the bathroom. Well,
nothing.
I guess you could probably find one there, but no, typically no.
Okay. Typically, no.
Something we use, and here's your big hint. As of tomorrow, I guess we don't get to.
Oh goodness, what do we don't get to use as of tomorrow?
Been using them for probably about 20, 30 years, maybe longer, and starting at tomorrow.
Plastic bags or the grocery sacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Average person uses 500 of those each year. Now, is it the first of the month or the end of the month that they're taking them away?
I don't know because I hate plastic bags myself, so I always ask for paper.
It's sad, but it's kind of like the American way, and I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But, we haven't thought about them for years. And then we hear, that all this plastic is entering the ecosystem and entering fish, which then enter us. And it's some horrifying things about this plastic. And you never really thought about it. And for years I never really thought about it. But, after it's coming to light, and I'm at the lake, and I'm seeing plastic bags all over disintegrated in the lake water. And I'm just like, oh, my God, it's right here in Stevens County, too. We're all ingesting it. So yeah, it's a good thing they're going away. I've got a giant bag with some nice big handles I can even throw over my shoulder. I am so ready to go grocery shopping without plastic bags.
Nice. And I have a really hard time remembering to take my reusable bags. But like I said, I prefer the paper, especially Yokes in Deer Park has the one with the handles on it. And so, I've always been a paper person. I figure it's a renewable resource. So, yeah.
I've got a plan. If I go and I forgot a bag, I'm just going to go do my grocery shop and fill up my shopping cart. And as I pay, I'm just going to put it all back in the cart single. Okay? So it's just like a cart full of, single canned goods and box goods and stuff. And then I'll just open up the back of my tracker and I'll take a run at it with a shopping cart. And at the last second, I'll just kick it up and let it just all fly in the back of my car.
Like we all do with wheelbarrows.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the way I'm going to get my groceries in the car. And then same thing when I get home. I'm going to open the back door, back up really fast, slam on the brakes, and just eject it all out of the back of the car.
I hope you got Mooch in a safe place when that happens.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I think. All right. Did you have any trivia or fun and games left, Val?
I do. I have a brain buster for you.
Oh, I hate those. Okay.
All right. Would it be cheaper for you to make one friend or take one friend to the movies twice or two friends at the same time? One more time. Would it be cheaper for you to take one friend to the movies twice or two friends at the same time?
Wow. It seems like it costs the same. Because I'm going to take the one twice, but two at the same time. There's a trick to this, isn't there?
There is a trick to it. Something that you're probably not thinking about.
Say the last one again.
Would it be, you want me to read the whole thing
Sure.
again? Would it be cheaper for you to take one friend to the movies twice or two friends at the same time? I'll give you a huge hint.
Okay.
You're taking them there.
What? Oh, it's going to be the one friend.
No.
No? Okay, what's the correct answer?
Same time. Taking two friends at the same time. If you take one friend to the movies twice, you have to pay for yourself each time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Got it? Yeah, that was a good one.
All right. I got to go to the bathroom now.
Time for a break.
Yeah, I'm kind of pouty and sad now. All right, we will be back. We've got local birthdays, odd news, some regular news, and some more stupid jokes. Stick around. Scott and Val will be right back here on KCHW 102.7.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW Chewelah.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock tires, provide collision repairs, including glass, and they have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Chris Jones. Taliban militants have celebrated with gunfire after US forces completed their final withdrawal from Afghanistan. It marks the end of the 20-year US-led operation in the country and the fortnight-long evacuation effort. But there are concerns about British nationals and Afghan staff left behind in Kabul. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says the UK is working with neighbouring countries to help them leave.
We will make sure for those that either haven't yet been processed and their eligibility not yet settled, or who have not been able to get to the airport, and couldn't get on a flight, we'll make sure we go through those cases and live up to the undertakings that we've made.
China and Russia have abstained on a resolution by the United Nations Security Council calling on the Taliban to allow Afghans to travel abroad after August 31st. Russia's permanent representative to the United Nations said its principal concerns had been ignored in the text. Stuart Smith reports from Moscow.
Permanent Representative Vasily Nebenzia says Russia wants Afghanistan to be a peaceful, secure and stable country, but he says he felt compelled to abstain on this text because it did not address Russia's concern of a so-called brain drain in the country, the issue of highly qualified and educated people fleeing the new regime. Russia also expressed frustration that Islamic State and the East Turkestan Islamic Movement were not listed in the paragraphs referencing terrorism, only Islamic State offshoot ISIS-K. Russian President Vladimir Putin has previously said the United Nations Security Council is his preferred international forum for discussing and making decisions on the future of Afghanistan. For now, the Taliban remains an extremist organisation banned in Russia. Stuart Smith, Moscow.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has announced that the US Embassy in Afghanistan has closed. American diplomats have left the country and that further diplomatic efforts would continue from Qatar. And Japan is considering pulling its self-defense forces out of Afghanistan, possibly on Wednesday. Government sources cited in Japanese media said it would be difficult to ensure safety at the airport after the US's troops pulled out. Phoebe Amoroso reports from Tokyo.
Concerns over safety in Kabul have been growing after deadly explosions near the airport last week killed more than 100 people. Japan dispatched 3 SDF aircraft to evacuate Japanese nationals and local staff. These are on standby in Islamabad in neighbouring Pakistan, while the situation in Kabul is assessed. On Friday, just 1 Japanese national was evacuated, as others struggled to reach the airport due to strict Taliban checkpoints. Up to about 500 people, including local staff of the Japanese Embassy and Japan International Cooperation Agency, as well as their families, are thought to remain in the country. Phoebe Amoroso, Tokyo.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Looking today at the crackdown in China on video games. The government in Beijing has announced that Chinese gamers under the age of 18 will only be allowed to play 1 hour a day on Fridays, weekends and public holidays, and only between 8 and 9 o'clock in the evening. The move comes a few weeks after one of the country's leading newspapers, a mouthpiece of the ruling Communist Party, described video games as spiritual opium. So what will the impact of the restrictions be on the gaming industry? Will Guyot is FSN's tech reporter.
The Chinese games market generates an estimated $46 billion of revenue every year. But this crackdown has been heard all around the world. We've had companies like Ubisoft, the video games company, they lost around 5% of their share price when this news was announced. We've also heard of Chinese gaming stocks sliding. The big concern here is that because so many Chinese people play games, you've got 62.5% of under 18 Chinese minors playing games online. There's going to be it's going to be really interesting to see what happens over the weeks and months ahead.
Facial recognition is expected to be used to impose the ban. The restrictions are a big gamble by the Chinese government and could fuel opposition from many young gamers. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap our top stories, the UK's Foreign Secretary is working with Afghanistan's neighbouring countries to help trapped British nationals leave. China and Russia have abstained on a resolution by the United Nations Security Council calling on the Taliban to allow Afghans to travel abroad after August 31st. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has announced that the US Embassy in Afghanistan has closed, and Japan is considering pulling its self-defense forces out of Afghanistan on Wednesday. That's the latest feature story news. Chris Jones reporting.
Over 20 different genres of music each week. You're listening to the Music Education Station, Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7.
All right, you ready for part 2, Val?
I am so ready.
All right.
Are the people out there ready?
Oh, so I think you won trivia, right?
Well, of course I did.
Oh, thank you for that. Mm-hmm.
But who's keeping score?
That's right. We weren't really. All right. Here we go. It's KCHW 102.7. Thanks for joining us today for our second part of our segment. We're going to kick that off with birthdays. Val, can you start with today's celebrity birthdays for us?
I can. Today is Van Morrison's birthday, 76 right there. Violinist Ishak Perlman is 76.
Huh.
Richard Gere, 72. Wow.
Does that make you feel old, Val?
It does. Makes me feel really old. I didn't realize he was that much older than me, though, but still. Marcia Clark was O.J. Simpson's ADA prosecutor. She's 68 today, like I care. Gina Schock of the Go-Go's is 64.
Oh, is she the Go or the Go's?
I'm not sure which Go she was.
Oh. And here's another one.
Debbie Gibson is 51 today.
So it's like all bad musicians except for Van Morrison and the violinist.
There you go. Zach Ward, just in case you didn't know who this is, it played Scut Farkus in A Christmas Story, and he is 51 today.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
What was that?
Just his name. I was like, is she going to say his name? That just sounds wrong.
It's a great movie, though.
All right.
Chris Tucker from Rush Hour is 49, and Sarah Ramirez from Grey's Anatomy is 46 today.
The funny thing is, I still can't figure the words that are coming out of Chris Tucker's mouth.
Well, who can? The best line in the whole movie.
Yeah. And it lives in infinite. I've got it as a sound effect and everything. But he actually, the loud screaming ruined those movies for me.
Chris's loud screaming?
His loud screaming ruined those movies for me. They were just too loud. I mean, it's abrasive. I don't know. I know a lot of people liked him. I could just never get into it because the sidekick was just like way too obnoxious. It'd be like having me for a sidekick, Val.
So obnoxious.
Yes. That's probably what you say when we're done. My brother is so obnoxious. All right.
Well, I would say probably everybody listening would be, oh my God, those people are obnoxious.
There you go. All right, just one local birthday today, and that is for Crystal Rooker. All right, happy birthday, Crystal. All the applause for you. And if you know her and she isn't listening, tell her we were talking about her on the radio. All right, my applause didn't work, and I apologize for that.
Oh, you want me to do it, like manual?
No, I got it there.
Okay, good.
All right, it happened today. I call it history. We'll start off in 1888 when Marianne Nichols was the first. I don't even want to do this. The first of Jack the Ripper's known victims. 1888, Marianne Nichols. And if I would have known the first one was going to be tragic and horrible, I wouldn't have had that smile on my face.
Be more somber.
More somber, sorry. All right, then 1897, Thomas Edison patented the kinetoscope, the first movie projector.
Wow, right. Thomas Edison was a busy man.
All right. I hope this one doesn't end tragically. 1976, Carolyn Bowes became the first woman to run across Canada when she arrived in Burnaby, BC after 3,841 miles from Halifax. In 133 days, she lost 15 pounds and wore out 13 pairs of shoes.
Wow. Well, I'd like to lose 15 pounds, but I ain't running.
Let's see. 2009, Walt Disney Company announced it was acquiring comic book giant Marvel Entertainment for $4 billion. Not that much.
Well, really, for the Marvel Entertainment franchise, that doesn't seem like a whole lot. I'm sure they made that up with the first movie.
Well, because one blockbuster will bring in about $1 billion, so...
Yeah.
All right. Okay, President Obama, 2015, officially redesignated Alaska's Mount McKinley as Denali, its Native American name. That's very cool. And 2018, A Star is Born, directed by and starring Bradley Cooper and co-starring Lady Gaga, premiered at the Venice Film Festival. How cute.
How cute. It was a very good movie. I will say that I probably cried the last 20 minutes of it, though.
That tragic?
Oh, yes. So I cried a lot in that movie, but it was good. Good.
Kind of like me, and I saw a meme of this too on one of the Chewheel Facebook pages. It was talking about crying at the movies, and then it had a picture of Kirk and Spock when Spock gets radiated and dies.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, yeah, that is so the first time I cried at a movie is when Spock died.
Thank goodness he came back to life.
Any episode of Little House on the Prairie as a kid, you usually wound up crying if you had a heart.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't cry at a Little House on the Prairie episode, you do not have a heart.
That's the New Amsterdam series that we've watched. Every episode of that, I end up crying, I'm pretty sure.
So this is going to sound really stupid, but the first season of Supergirl, every episode at some point I cried. They're really good at tugging at your heartstrings in that show. It kind of waned after that, but that first season, they were so good at tugging at your heartstrings. I think I cried once at every episode.
I'm a crier anyway. I've had commercials I've cried over, but and I don't. Brad asked me a silly question. We'll be watching something, and he knows me, I guess, but he'll go, "Are you crying?" And I'm like you even have to ask right now.
He's just gonna ridicule you.
Yeah, if it's sad in the teeniest, tiniest bit, I'm gonna cry, and he'll go. Every time, honey, it's not real. I know it's not real, but I'm still crying.
You're too invested in your television shows, Val.
Evidently. I just have a very kind...
That's it. Could be easy mark. All right.
Yes.
I shouldn't cry. I just admitted I cry about Supergirl.
That's exactly. You have no place to talk.
That's
brother.
right. Special events.
International Overdose Awareness Day.
Very important.
A little bit of a downer.
Yeah.
How about this one? Love Your Litigating Lawyer Day.
That's easy for you to say, and no one else.
It's Trail Mix Day.
Yuck.
You don't like trail mix?
I hate trail mix.
Oh man.
It's like all my food's touching. Ew.
I don't like the ones with raisins.
Oh.
But the rest of them are good.
Yeah, who wants raisins, chocolates, and pretzels?
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Just give me the chocolate and pretzels.
All right.
Matchmaker Day today.
Oh, Val, that is something you suck at.
I do suck at it, and I will never, ever, ever do it again. In fact, we had friends that met through us, and we're going to start dating. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't do it. And when they had a falling out, I told her, I told you not to do it.
Val sat me up with my last wife.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
She's not a woman. She's the Terminator.
It's more like she's the devil, Bernard Boucher.
Oh, man, it's so bad, yeah.
Just get one of those inflatable women. But make sure it's a woman, though. This one time
Sorry. I had to.
Oh,
all
yes.
right.
It would have turned out so much better if that's what I bought you.
Amen, sister. All right, number for the
and
day.
the last one right now is Eat Outside Day.
Oh, excellent. Not much time left to do that. Winters are coming.
Yeah, but the only thing about trying to eat outside this time of year is the yellow jackets.
You could
nasty.
You could hire someone to shoo them away.
Oh, there you go. Maybe if I won the lotto.
Yeah. I have a professional.
I'll give you free food if you want to come shoo them away for me, Scott.
Done.
All right.
They will not be getting to your chili.
All right.
All right. Number for the day is a mere 400. And that is the number of actresses who tested for the role of Scarlett in Gone with the Wind in 1939. 400. Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Wow. It'd make you feel good. I beat out 400 other actresses.
Yeah.
Made me feel good when I got to say that.
What was the role, though?
And it's just all kinds of wrong.
Oh.
All right, so I got part of that news story, but it sounds a little different on our News and Nuggets post. They were saying China limits children to 3 hours of online gaming a week. Wow.
Oh, so not even an hour a day.
Yeah, it says they can only play games between 8 and 9 p.m. on Fridays, weekends, and public holidays.
Oh, so no playing during the week when you should be studying.
And
for
you
school.
didn't, I don't know if you heard the news, they said they're using face recognition software to enforce it. So China already has Big Brother?
Now that's scary.
So China must already have Big Brother. So they can watch everybody in their homes, I'm guessing, because they're going to be able to tell that you're gaming.
Huh.
So that's...
And people are worried about chips in the vaccine here.
That's extra creepy.
It is extra creepy.
Well, and that's the thing of George Orwell's prediction that Big Brother would, take over the world in 1984, and people went, "Oh, it didn't happen," and I disagree. The technology for it to happen was here in 1984, and now look around. There's cameras everywhere. Big Brother is watching.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But, the same thing. If he's watching me, Big Brother's really bored.
Be like she's making another batch of wine. Really?
He's watching another episode of Star Trek, really?
SpongeBob.
All right. I want to throw this one out. Big Pet, little New York City apartment is a challenge. It's a pretty huge challenge when it's an 80-pound cougar. That's what I want for a pet. Owner of the pet in question, an 11-month-old cougar raised from a cub, surrendered the animal before anyone got hurt. The cougar, called Sasha, spent the weekend at the Bronx Zoo being overlooked by vet staff and then set off for Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge in Arkansas. Turpentine Creek. Wonder what they've been doing.
I wonder what they've been dumping there.
Keeping a cougar as a pet is illegal. Oh, bummer. And the case is currently under investigation by the police. And that's
what I want to know, though, is so you have a 80-pound cougar in a New York City apartment. Where were they walking it? Or were they?
Oh, no. Haven't you seen the extra large litter boxes?
Well, I just know how much my little cats stink up the house when they use it. Can you imagine what the stench must have been like in that place?
Yeah, make sure that's by the window with a fan.
Exactly.
That would be cool, though. I love cats.
Me too.
I'm
It
just
would be
saying.
kind of fun.
All right, more cat stuff. California, 5-year-old boy was attacked by a mountain lion while playing near his house at the end of last week. Suffered significant injuries to his head and upper torso as the cat dragged him roughly 45 yards across the front lawn. You don't hear about him taking, kids like this very often. Tell the boy's mother went into beast mode and fought the cat off with her bare hands. The mother was inside when she heard the commotion in the yard, and her motherly intuition kicked in. She saw the predatory cat heading for the hills with her kid, so she tore outside with no concern for her own personal safety and started yelling and punching the lion with all of her might. Mom's fists of fury startled the cat enough to drop the boy, and he ran off. Parents immediately drove the boy to the hospital, notified law enforcement officials that there was an aggressive animal in the area. Scary.
Wow. How scary would that be as a parent, though? Holy moly.
Oh, I'd lose my cookies.
Yeah, no kidding. You wouldn't even think about beating him off with your fists at that point, right?
Yep. This next headline took me off for a minute. It said Russian cosmonauts find crack.
New crack.
What? Russian cosmonauts have discovered new cracks in a segment of the International Space Station that could widen. Superficial fissures have been found in, say that 3 times really fast. Superficial fissures have been found in some places on the Zarya module, which was the first module of the ISS to have launched back in 1998. So it is just a tad old.
Exactly. 23 years old. There's probably going to be some cracks in it.
Do things rust in space? Probably not. You probably have to have
need
some oxygen
for that, don't you?
Yeah. Space officials, so why is it rusting then? And why is it cracking? Space officials have said previously that much of the International Space Station's equipment is starting to age and has warned there could be an avalanche of broken equipment after 2025.
Right. Well, yeah, it's getting pretty old at this point.
Yeah, it's an older space station. All right, I think we're going to do that thing we do to end the show and bake that bacon and biscuits and mix it all together.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
That's what we're doing.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh, it's an excellent day. 8:49 right now. News time. My sister here with the news attack, where the first statement's true and the second one is a bad joke.
Bad. Sometimes
Bad.
really, really bad. All right. Researchers may be on the right track for finding a cure for baldness.
Yay!
You don't have to worry about that, do you, Scott?
No. Not yet.
But, yeah, you know, just forget cancer. Can't you see we're busy bringing an end to the comb-over?
Yes, get busy. Because they know they'll make more money of guys trying to reverse their baldness.
Probably.
All right. Only one showed up at the anti-lockdown protest in Auckland, New Zealand. One person. Cops didn't even bother to show up. They had a couple of Cub Scouts make the arrest. One person. All right.
One person. You know what? I heard it was really embarrassing for them.
Yeah?
You know, they'd scream into the megaphone about their freedoms, and then they'd jump off the podium and clap.
Yay, me! All right. Flamin' Hot Cheetos Mountain Dew's on sale today.
Oh, sounds disgusting.
It's keto friendly.
I'm not sure about that, though, because I'm sure there is a lot of sugar in that, making it un-keto friendly.
But so, you know, the Flamin' Hot Cheetos are like great fire starter. I mean, they're like really, really, they like to burn.
Burst into flames just like your mouth?
Yes. So will the Mountain Dew catch fire now, too?
I wonder.
I'm almost curious enough to try it. Almost.
Almost, yeah. Yeah, you got to at least have a sip, but the rest of it might be going down the drain.
But I want to do it, you know, I want to have someone filming me, like for a short TikTok video, so that you can take me to see the swig and then hunch up and hurl over and spit it all over the parking lot. TikTok.
I'll be your official camera person.
All right. Let's see. It's your turn. Sorry.
All right. A New Yorker had to give up the 80-pound cougar that we were talking about earlier that was living in their apartment. Officials became suspicious when complaints about rats stopped in a 4-block area.
New Yorker had to give up the 80-pound cougar that was living in their apartment, if you haven't heard. Did you hear about this?
I think I heard. It's vaguely familiar.
It was the apartment where DoorDash delivery people just did that. Knock on the door and then dash.
Oh, screaming the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
September is Backpack Safety Month.
Okay.
Evidently, it's a real thing.
It is.
And, yeah, they're even selling helmets for backpacks now, I've heard.
In case your kid falls over for all the books, they don't get a head injury. All right. Jeff Probst says Survivor Season 41 will shake things up.
41.
Season 41. Hopefully this will be the year when the two tribes get into the silly string war. Arg.
Arg.
All right.
You know, so we're looking at 20 years ago that the first Survivor came on TV, and I can remember watching that with my kids all the time. I mean, it was something we all enjoyed. So happy memories of Survivor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that. All right, let's go into the world of wacky but true. We don't add anything to these stories, but sound effects. All right. And I guess I'm up. Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Cops in Austria had to have been more than just a little surprised when they got called out to a suspected break-in at a prison. When police arrived, they spotted a man on the roof. The man had been released from the prison after serving 2 years for theft. But as fate would have it, there was no place like home.
3 hots and a cot.
Exactly. That's what he told the authorities. Life is so much easier on the inside. They feed me, they do my laundry, and they let me watch TV. He actually thought he could sneak back in and blend in with the other prisoners, and the guards wouldn't notice because they were so used to seeing him. Oh, he had an idea. And here it is.
I can avoid being seen if I wish, but to disappear entirely, that is a rare gift.
And he doesn't have it.
No. Here's one for you.
Okay.
When a naked man was spotted Sunday running through a South Carolina Lowe's Home Depot improvement place. I guess Home Depot and Lowe's is two different things. Sorry. Witnesses called police. When officers arrived, they reported finding the man standing outside at a flower display, wearing only a towel to cover himself. He told officers he thought he was being followed by people who were threatening to kill him. The man told police he was hiding behind a post when he heard his pants begin to beat and thought maybe someone had planted a bomb in his clothes. So he removed all of his clothing. When employees saw the naked man, they gave him a towel to cover himself. Police asked the man to dress, but he said he would not because he was afraid his clothes would explode. Officers had to take him to a hospital for medical clearance before he was booked into the county jail.
And so I go naked.
I'm not sure he passed the medical clearance thing, though.
Yeah. I have a beeper in my pants, but it means something different. It's like, hurry up to the bathroom.
I thought those were your keys.
Beeping in my pants. Yeah, it's called your phone, buddy. Oh, from the movie Airplane.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I couldn't decide between that one or this one.
Wait a minute! You're naked under there? First my neighbor dies before I paid him back that 20. Now this.
And then my personal favorite, this is what started the whole thing.
Where's my mojo?
All right. This is fun. Alligator in Florida was recently seen steaming like a smoke bomb after taking a big bite out of what presumably thought was a bird. Turns out it was actually a tourist drone that flew way too close to the gator. Video caption admits the tourists operating the drone were novices and only using the device for the second time either. And, snack for an alligator.
Maybe that's what happened to the guy with a naked guy at Lowe's.
Another guy that had an idea.
Yeah.
All right. Last story, all yours.
Oh, thank you so much. A New Mexico man was running on a trail near Winter Park, Colorado, when he was attacked by a moose. Running with his two dogs, the dogs were quite a ways ahead of him when they both came running back in a hurry. That's when he spotted the moose about 50 feet in front of him. The man took a couple of steps forward, and that's when the moose took off in a full-blown charge. Ooh. The bull reportedly kicked him in the back of the head, leaving a perfect hoof print laceration. Ultimately, the guy was fine, minus the hoof print in his dome, and was released after minimal medical care.
I was picturing it all.
Boy, this sounds like more trouble than a moose on the interstate.
Yes. After the moose was done with him, you know what she said?
No. What sign are you? Because my mood ring just totally changed colors.
Sorry, I kicked you in the head.
All
right.
But at least I know that I like you.
Yes, it's just a sign. Don't be scared of the moose. All right, that's all the stupidity we have for you today. And tomorrow, let's see, it's me and Big Mike Bentz for Wednesday. And then I'm on vacation for a little more than a week. So we will have a news for you in the morning. Sorry, I apologize.
They will miss you, Scott.
And you, Val, because you won't be here Tuesday either. Well, I'm doing the same thing. So what I ask of the DJs when they take a trip and they leave the area and travel is that, we had one that went to Sturgis, and when they get back, 72-hour quarantine from the studio. And I'm going to do the same thing when I get back that I ask of the others, because I touch everything in here. So, and I'm not set up for Zoom at home, believe it or not.
Like the rest of us.
Yes, so a little more than a week, I think, from today. Or after tomorrow. Nice. All right, so I think, from, Thursday to Thursday, we should be back on the air. But we will be taking a little break and doing some home confinement.
There you go.
All right. And why? Because...
Okay, then. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
All right, I am Scott.
And I am Val.
She's my sister.
I'm your sister. Yeah. He's my brother.
And that's Odd News for
Tuesday.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
No! All right. Have a good day. Don't forget, tonight on the radio, it's Tuesday. You got Dr. Jazz, 6 to 9 with jazz music. And then it's Philip, a little punk music, his show called Fat Stacks. Check out both shows live tonight, beginning at 6. It's KCHW 102.7. Say goodbye, Val.
Goodbye, Val.